Welcome to Why with Sticks. Almost 300 years ago, a young Benjamin Franklin had a problem. A powerful rival, another lawmaker, had taken a dislike to him. Cold stares, public put-downs, the kind of enemy who could quietly end a career. Franklin could have flattered him. He could have done him a favor, the way we're all taught to win people over. He did the opposite. He asked the man for a favor, and it worked so well that the two became friends for the rest of their lives. What Franklin stumbled onto that day is one of the strangest, most useful quirks of the human mind. And once you see it, you'll catch yourself doing it everywhere. Here's what Franklin actually did. He'd heard his rival owned a very rare and curious book, so he wrote him a note, warm, almost humble, asking if he might borrow it for a few days. The man was flattered. He sent the book over at once. A week later, Franklin returned it with a careful thank you. The next time they met, the rival, who had never so much as spoken to him kindly, went out of his way to be friendly. He offered his help. He stayed Franklin's ally for life. Franklin summed it up in a single line: "He that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged." In plain words, the person who helps you will want to help you again, more than the person you helped. Now stop and notice how backwards this is. We all believe the same simple story about ourselves. First, we like someone, then we do nice things for them. The feeling comes first, the favor follows. So a favor should be a result of liking, an effect, not a cause. But Franklin's rival didn't like him at all. He did the favor anyway. And the liking appeared afterward, as if the act had reached back in time and created the feeling. That's the puzzle. How does helping someone make you warmer toward them when the warmth was never there to begin with? The answer is hiding in how the brain keeps its own story straight. Your mind has a deep need to feel consistent, for your actions and your beliefs to line up. When they don't, it creates a kind of mental friction. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance. You can feel it as a small, nagging discomfort. That doesn't add up. So picture the rival holding his own rare book, about to hand it to a man he can't stand. Some quiet part of him notices the mismatch. I'm going out of my way for someone I dislike? Why would I do that? Two facts are now sitting side by side and they don't fit. The action, helping, the feeling, dislike. The brain hates that gap. It wants the story to make sense again. And here's the move the mind makes, quietly, without ever asking permission. It's far easier to change a feeling than to undo something you've already done. The favor is finished. It can't be unhappened. So the feeling is what gives way. The brain rewrites the story. Well, I helped him. I lent him something I treasure. I suppose I must like him after all. He seems like a good sort. The discomfort melts. The story is smooth again, and the rival walks away genuinely warmer toward Franklin, convinced the feeling was his all along. This is the heart of it. We don't only act because of how we feel. Sometimes we feel a certain way because of how we acted. The behavior leads. The emotion follows it home. And this quirk has a shadow side, one worth knowing. If doing someone a kindness makes you like them more, what happens when you do someone harm? The same machinery runs in reverse. After we hurt someone, even in a small way, the brain feels the same friction. I'm a decent person, so why did I do that to them? And it resolves the gap the same way. It quietly lowers its opinion of the victim. They had it coming. They're not really worth much anyway. It's how ordinary people talk themselves into cruelty, one small step at a time. We don't just hurt people we dislike. Disturbingly often, we come to dislike the people we've hurt to keep our own story clean. So how do you use the bright side on purpose? Gently. When you want to build a bridge to someone, don't only give. Ask for something small and real. Borrow a book. Ask their advice. Let them do you a little kindness. It feels backwards, even rude. But a small favor invites them to become, in their own eyes, the kind of person who helps you. And that's a story they'll want to keep telling. It's why volunteers grow attached to the very people they serve, why a mentor often cares more than the student, why lending a hand quietly binds you to the other person. The lesson underneath is bigger than any trick. Affection isn't only something you find, it's something your own actions build, one small favor at a time. Benjamin Franklin never had a word for cognitive dissonance. He just noticed that the surest way to a person's heart wasn't to do them a favor, but to let them do one for you. We like to think our feelings steer our actions, but just as often, it runs the other way. We reach out a hand first, and our heart follows it toward the other person. So the next time you want someone in your corner, don't ask what you can do for them. Ask just a little for what they can do for you. If you enjoyed thinking about this, stay a while. There's always another wide waiting.